Chris Gray here, and I have got myself this really nice looking white box. But it's not the white box that's important, although it does look very nice. It's what's inside it that matters. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is the Apple Watch Sport 42 millimeter in space gray with the sports watch band. So let's crack open this box and take a peek at how cool it looks. All right, once we pull the lid open and we reveal a large pill or rectangular shaped piece of plastic, which is actually holding the Apple Watch. When we remove the top of this pill shaped case, there we have the Apple Watch with the sports band. The Apple Watch starts at about $350 US, and that is for the 38 millimeter version. This is the 42 space gray version, so this one is roughly $400. There are two other versions of the Apple Watch. There is the Apple Watch, which is made out of a stainless steel, not aluminum. That's usually around, I think, about $500. Starting price is around $550. There you go. And then there is the Apple Watch Edition, which is actually made out of gold. And that particular version starts out at around $10,000. It depends on which one you get and which bands. Different bands cost different money. This is a sports band. The sports bands usually run around $50. However, there are a lot of different options on Amazon for much cheaper bands, which we're going to be reviewing in later videos on the itsAppleTime.com website. Next, we look at the box here, and we have like a barrier that's designed by Apple in California. And this pulls out like so. And inside here is some information on your Apple Watch, some pamphlets and information. And look, they even send a small end of the sports band. So if you just switch out this part, it'll be a smaller size, which I actually didn't even notice that until this unboxing video. So wow, I'm actually impressed and surprised by that. In here is some quick information on what you can do with it, your faces, the apps, notifications, Apple Pay, Force Touch, glances, and activity. All very, very useful. And here's some more information on the different buttons, the charging, and how to use the sports strap. So you can see the side button that I'll talk about a little bit later, and the digital crown and the different things you can do and the different abilities. Also, you can touch the screen. I'll talk about that later too in the video, where you press down Force Touch really hard, and that will give you the ability to edit and do other things depending on which app you are in. So in here we have the adapter, the wall plug adapter to USB, which is always nice to have. And here is the actual charging cable. It is a USB connection to Apple's magnetic proprietary charger, which I find to be pretty cool. The only thing is that it's a very long cord, which is great, but I find it to get kind of in the way, and I'm going to have to pick up some kind of charging stand. And to charge the Apple Watch, it's really simple. You just grab the Apple Watch, and it's magnetic, and it kind of has a depression here, and it just goes loop right there, and you're magnetized up. All right, so with the battery life, just to give you an idea of how much battery life I'm getting out of my Apple Watch, I charge it around 8 o'clock. I take it off about 1 o'clock in the morning. I then put it on my wrist through sleep. I wake up in the morning around 6 o'clock, go to work, and by the time I get home and exercise, and I get off the elliptical or whatever exercise I'm doing around 8 o'clock, I have about 30% battery life left. So I'm definitely getting plenty of juice out of the Apple Watch. So when I say all-day battery life, it's about 18 hours according to Apple. It also says about 3 hours for talk time if you're using your Apple Watch as a speakerphone. Audio playback, Apple says around 6.5 hours. And for working out, about 6.5 hours before the battery will die. Let's see, with the power reserve, if you put the Apple Watch in power reserve, you're looking at up to 72 hours. And in order to do that, you hold down this Friends button, and it will give you these three options: power off, power reserve, or device lock. Power reserve will put it into a sort of like a sleep mode where it only displays the time up in the right-hand corner, and power off will turn it off. Now, the charge time, according to Apple, for the Apple Watch is about 1.5 hours to get to about 80% and 2.5 hours to get to 100%. Your watch performance, battery-wise, will vary depending on if you have the 38 millimeter or the 42. 42 is going to have a little bit better because it's a little bit bigger, so it has more room for a larger battery. So another really cool thing about the Apple Watch is if you put it on a special charging stand, or you put your charger on it and turn the watch sideways like this, it will actually give you like a clock mode, which is really cool. It's also worth mentioning that when you're using your Apple Watch, you will be using Force Touch. And Force Touch is basically when you press really hard on the screen. And the other cool thing about Force Touch is that it gives you a what Apple calls their taptic feedback, which is basically the same thing as haptic, but it feels really good. Also, when you're doing navigation, it will vibrate when you're supposed to be making a turn. There are so many different features with this watch. I'm going to have to make a whole nother video, which I'll be putting on itsAppleTime.com. Now, you can change the bands out very simply by these little buttons here on the bottom. See if I can get you a close-up video right there. There's a little button right there. If you press that in, and you would just slide, and the bands come off just that easy. To slide them back on, you just put it back in the groove, slide it, you'll feel a little bit of a click, and you'll be locked back in place. That's how easy it is to swap out the bands. And like I said earlier, I'm going to be doing some more band reviews, so stay tuned for that. On the back here, you'll see that there are 4 like LED or forward-looking camera sensors. 2 of these are actually LEDs. They're like a green LED, and the other 2 are actually sensors. The green light shines down on your skin, and the other sensors, I believe, are used to pick up the green light or some kind of pulsing to give you your heart rate. And it is actually very accurate when it comes to giving me my heart rate. This has been a phenomenal tool when it comes to my exercise routine, whether I'm using an elliptical machine or I am running, or even at my day job. There are lots of different notifications and different functionality, which we're not really going to go into in this video. That'll be for a different video. Over here on the right, you have the 2 main buttons here. This button over here is more of a rectangular shape. I call it the Friends button. If you press that button, it'll bring you instantly to your Friends screen. If you double press it, it will give you your Apple Pay wallet and whatever credit card you have set up on your iPhone to be your default wallet. Over here, we have the digital crown. All right, here's the Apple Watch on my wrist, and I'm wearing it upside down so you can get a better shot, a better view at the screen. It is very, very comfortable. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of things here real quick. I'm going to tap the screen, and you can see the display. The display is customizable. If you take your finger and hard press down, you can switch between the different watch faces. And then when you pick the watch face you want, you can even customize the complications on that watch face. And when I mean complications, I'm talking about, what is displayed, the battery life, the date, the calendar, the time, the outside temperature, and an activity monitor right there with those rainbow colors. On the top is a dot telling me that I have a notification, and that is a notification from my wife asking me if I have a Phillips head screwdriver. To go back to the watch face, I press this home button where the digital crown is, and it will take me back to this watch face. Now there's a button right here. It's like a rectangular button. If you press that once, it'll bring up your friends. Now, I don't have a whole lot of friends here. These are all my friends that I have that have Apple Watches. I can slide over and have a different set of friends, and you can keep doing that, so on and so forth, or add friends. To go back to where I was, I press this digital crown home button to take me back to the watch face. If I press the digital crown while in the watch face, it will bring me to the app selection screen, where I can roll around and find an app that I would like to open. Now, there are a lot of different apps that you can use on your Apple Watch. I'll show some more of that stuff off in a different video. You can always check it out at itsAppleTime.com, where we focus on Apple products exclusively. Over here, I have an activity tracker. You have settings. Go into the settings really quick, and you can see it still says the time up in the top right-hand corner, and I can scroll through and make a couple of adjustments. You will also have an app on your iPhone where you can make adjustments, add apps and change settings as well. In order to use the Apple Watch, you need to pair it with an iPhone. It has to be an iPhone 5 or later, or 5 or newer rather. So iPhone 5 or newer for this Apple Watch to work. Now you can use it without being directly connected to it all the time, but you're going to have very limited functionality. You really have to have a iPhone. It has to be paired with an iPhone to work, period. So if I double tap on this Friends button, as I like to call it, it will then bring up Apple Pay. So it's showing my credit card. I then put it near a scanner and bam, I can make a payment. How cool is that? The digital crown, if you roll the digital crown, it will put me in a time travel mode where I can go forward in time to see what I have planned throughout the day. And as you can see, the temperature is also changing as the Apple Watch determines what the temperature will be at around that time, thanks to the weather channel, I believe, is who Apple uses. Home screen sets it back to normal. Now I'm going to take the Apple Watch off, and as I do, it's going to put it in a lock mode. And here is the strap. It's just like a pin in through a loop and through a hole. That's the sports strap, which is actually really comfortable. I thought it was going to be very cheap, but it's actually not, and it looks good, right? And I'm really happy with the band. And I'm going to be doing some more band videos later on for It's Apple Time. Now, if we look on the side here, we have a little hole and 2 slits. The 2 slits, I believe, is the speaker, because yes, you can make a phone call with the Apple Watch, just like Dick Tracy. It'll be a speakerphone, basically. And over here, the small hole is the microphone in. How cool is that? This Apple Watch, the Apple Watches are water resistant. They're not really waterproof. At least I wouldn't ever tell anybody they were. Some people say they wear them in the shower. I would not recommend that. They are sweat resistant, however. I just want to take a minute to show you one of my favorite features with the Apple Watch, which may seem a little silly, but it has become my favorite feature. Well, what I do is from this screen here, I press the friend button, or this little square button down here, and I press it again, and it will bring me up to my friends. I'll select one of my friends, my business partner, Trish, and it gives me 3 different options down here. I can call her, and I can do a speakerphone call like Dick Tracy. I can do force touch, or I can do touch with drawings and tappings, or I can do a text message. But let's go into touch. And on this top corner here, you can see the color green. If you tap that, you can select a different color. I'm going to stick with the green. And now I can send Trish little drawings, some scribble scrabbles, and she will get them on her Apple Watch. Now, those scribble scrabbles will not go to an iPhone, but you can send them to the Apple Watch. You can do taps like this. Well, now it's in the drawing mode, so let me just finish that little drawing there. I'm not the best artist in the world. However, I do have a lot of fun. You can do some taps. And if you use 2 fingers and hold down, you can do the heartbeat. And then I just sent my actual heartbeat. Now, if you press and hold down with 1 finger, you can switch to messages or phone call. So you can actually do a message, either a predetermined message, or pre-written. You can actually record, which does a very good job for dictation, or you can send different smiley faces or different symbols, fist bumps, and then you can select different ones by turning the digital crown. So if I turn the digital crown, I can do the hands. I can do something like a clap or praying. Lots of different things you can do here. And when I want to send it, I just press the send, and off it goes. If I want to go back to the apps, maybe there's a particular app I'm looking for, just tap on that crown, and it will bring me into the apps. All in all, I feel that the Apple Watch is a great accessory to go with your iPhone. It's very comfortable, and you can customize it with the different watch bands. It's a little bit pricey, but I think if you're an Apple fan like myself, that you'll really find a lot of good uses for it. I love this Apple Watch, and if you decided that this is something you may like, please go in the description of this video, and I will have a link to this exact Apple Watch. When you buy from our Amazon affiliate link, there's no extra cost to you, and you can support us here at the studio so we can continue to make videos and podcasts. If you're into Apple products and you want more information, tutorials, tips, and a great online radio show, head over to itsAppletime.com That's itsAppletime.com, and follow our podcast and follow everything with our blog posts. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.